Hey everyone, it's Mike. I'm back. This is, I think, video number 11. Today I want to talk about shoegaze music, and specifically I want to talk about the bands that were cranking this stuff out back in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. Specifically, I want to do another video later that'll talk about more recent shoegaze type bands. But for now, I just want to talk about the ones that were putting out music in the early 90s. Pretty much the heyday of shoegaze music before it kind of went away. Obviously, the most talked about and well-known shoegaze band that there is My Bloody Valentine. One of my favorite bands and definitely my favorite shoegaze band. So I'll start with them first. I don't know where I found this album. I was in college. This is called Ecstasy and Wine. It's 1987. One of their early works before they started getting into the shoegaze groove. This is more of a, I don't know, jangly pop kind of music. It's on Lazy Records. This is the back here. And Lazy was putting out like the Primitives and stuff like that. And I feel like this is kind of more fits in the category of the Primitives than it does the My Bloody Valentine shoegaze stuff. So this is called Ecstasy and Wine, 1987. There's the labels there. Early stuff, but not the My Bloody Valentine sound quite yet. So then in 1988, they released an EP called You Made Me Realize. I don't have vinyl of some of this stuff. Some of it's in CD, so bear with me. This is the You Made Me Realize. It's a 5-song EP. It's got some great songs on it. It kind of, you can tell that they're getting their sea legs with the shoegaze sound with this. A lot more layered guitar stuff, a lot of effects going on in the guitars to make it kind of sound a little bit different than what you're used to. Really cool EP. So You Made Me Realize EP, 1988. Creation Records, by the way. Then their next one, they released another EP, Feed Me With Your Kiss EP. And this is a 4-song EP, Creation Records. This is great too. Really loud guitars. I believe this is the, so really loud guitars. 1988, prior to them releasing their first full-length album on Creation Records, which is called Isn't Anything. I remember when this came out, a friend of mine recommended it to me. A friend of mine in college who was into punk and post-punk like I was, and Sonic Youth and that kind of thing. And he thought I would really like this because he knew how much I liked Sonic Youth. And the thing about it is after falling in love with, albums like Evol and Sister and those albums from Sonic Youth, it really kind of got me ready for this. The things that Thurston Moore and Lee Ranaldo were doing in Sonic Youth kind of paved the way, I believe, in a lot of ways for the Kevin Shields guitar sounds on this album. So I immediately loved it. It didn't take me any time to get used to it or figure out what the hell is going on here. I fell immediately in love with their sound. It's a strong album, but it's not, to me, it's not 100%. It's not like a perfect album or anything like that. It's got its highs and its lows, but really a nice I guess debut effort towards their shoegaze kind of sound. Isn't Anything. This is one of the re-releases that they've been putting out lately. I think in April they announced that they were going to start reprinting these. And they're remastered. This one is remastered from digital tapes. It's not the fully analog. I grabbed it because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get either analog or digital, so I just went and grabbed the first thing that I could find, and I was able to get this. For some reason, the My Bloody Valentine website in England, they weren't shipping the analog ones to the US. They were only shipping the digital ones, so I grabbed the digital one. So better something than nothing. The inside, it's gatefold sleeve here. There's the band. To introduce you to them, Kevin Shields on guitar and vocals, Belinda Butcher on guitar and vocals, Colm Okosoig, I'm not sure of his exact pronunciation is Irish name, but he's on drums, and then Deb Googe on bass. They're essentially an Irish band with some people I think are from Ireland, some are from England, but essentially an Irish band. So anyway, that's Isn't Anything, 1988. After that, they started to go and make some new music, and they released an EP in 91, I believe. Yeah, called Glider. And it had a song on it called Soon, which would end up on their next album, and then 3 B-sides, basically. I don't have that. I had that CD. I don't have it anymore. I have the CD for Isn't Anything too, by the way. I don't have that one. Glider's a decent song. Soon is a fantastic song. I forget the other 2 off the top of my head. Don't Ask Why, I think. It's kind of starts out as like an acoustic guitar song, and then goes into some really loud layer guitars. It's a pretty cool song as well. They released another EP called Tremolo, or Tremello, I don't know, however you want to pronounce it. Another 4-song EP. This one's got To Hear Knows When, which is another single off the next upcoming album. It's also got, what is it? I can't even read this. Swallow is really good. Honey Power, Moon Song. Swallow's a fantastic song. Anyway, that came out in 1991, or 92, excuse me. 91. I write I have notes, but it's only the notes of the dates, and that's just to keep track because I've got a 53-year-old brain, and the only thing I really need help with are dates. I'm horrible with dates. Everything else I can pretty much figure out off the top of my head. So anyway, so the album that they came out with, this is the CD that I bought when it first came out. I wasn't buying vinyl really at this time. Because it was 92 or 91, excuse me, I keep saying 92, 91, and I had already stopped buying vinyl. Everybody was buying CDs. I bought a CD, so this is the CD that I bought. It's on Sire, Warner, originally on Creation. So yeah, Loveless is the album, 1991, and it's I don't know, what can I say that hasn't already been said about that album? Funny thing is, so I started buying vinyl again during the pandemic, and I thought I'd been out of the scene for so long. I thought, I'll just go down to the local record store and pick up a copy of Loveless. I'm sure she's sitting there in the bin waiting for me to buy it, because I really wanted to have Loveless now that I had this urge to start buying vinyl again. And of course it wasn't there. And then I started looking into it, and it's out of print and can't find it anywhere, and I was so frustrated. I found on Discogs, I found a bootleg version of it, which was at the time better than nothing, so it's like a placeholder for me. Creation, but it's like an unofficial release, and no gatefold or anything. It's just a single sleeve, and it's on pink vinyl. So Creation Records, My Bloody Valentine, Loveless, bootleg, an unofficial release, Loveless. So I was happy with that, I guess. At least I could, it didn't sound like amazing or whatever, but at least I could put it on the turntable and listen to one of my favorite albums. And so I did. Back in 2012, they re-released these on vinyl and CD, but of course I bought the CD because it was 2012 and I wasn't buying vinyl at the time. So this is what this looks like, and it's got both the analog and digital versions. Of course it's analog, but it's on a CD, so you still lose that bit of quality there. But anyway, that was pretty nice to have back in 2012. They also released this CD full of all their EPs. Some of these you've already seen that I've already shown you, plus the Glider one is right here in the middle there. So it has all that material, plus some extra songs, some extra outtakes, studio outtakes and stuff. So that's pretty cool. That came out at the same time, 2012. Then 2013. Oh, well, I guess I'll finish up. So I did end up finding Loveless. This is the digital version on vinyl. It's an official release, but it's the digital version. I was able to buy that through their website because they were allowing Americans to buy the digital version, but just not the analog version. So I went ahead and bought it because I just didn't know if it was going to be around much longer. So this is what the inside looks like. Gatefold there, and it sounds fine. I can't complain. It's still remastered and everything, but it's just not the fully analog version. And then about a month or so later, while I was searching around the internet, I found a guy selling the analog versions on Discogs at retail value. Maybe there's about a $20 markup, but still, it wasn't like in the hundreds. So I got that. So this is the fully analog version. Really nice quality. The cardboard is different. It's produced in a special way like this, where they fold it over and glue it down like this, like the old-fashioned records how they used to make them. Gatefold there. Really nice, just heavier. It feels like the record's in here, but it's not. The record's right here. Really nice quality. Sounds beautiful. I don't have a super expensive stereo system. I'm sure it sounds even better than what I'm hearing, but I'm happy with it. So 2013, they released a new album. My Bloody Valentine did, MBV. I bought this. I guess I downloaded it digitally off the MBV website way back when. So that's the only copy I had of it, was a digital copy. And then now that they've started to re-release these, I went ahead and picked up. This is the fully analog version of their latest album, their third album on Creation, or this isn't Creation, this is self-released on MBV Records. Again, re-released on Domino Records. It's nice. It's a good album. It's not as good as Loveless, obviously. It's got some songs. It's got some hits and some misses, but this came with some artwork, like cards, these little poster cards. I'm not going to pull them all out, but they're just basically kind of the same kind of artwork that you see inside on the gatefold. Black vinyl. Whatever, there's the labels there. It's really good. So, oh, and I was so paranoid that I wasn't going to get one that I ordered it from 2 different places. So I have an extra copy. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I haven't opened it, but I don't know if I'll sell it or give it to a friend or whatever. So anyway, that's My Bloody Valentine, the vinyl that I have. I did see them in concert. They went on tour, I believe it was 2018 or 19. I saw them, I drove out, my best friend and I. He and I saw them way back when. This is the t-shirt from when I originally saw them back in 91. They opened for Dinosaur Jr. So I saw them in Orlando. I was still in college, Florida. And we drove down to Orlando and saw My Bloody Valentine. And he and I also went just a couple years ago to go see them in Los Angeles at the USC, the Shriners Auditorium or whatever there, right near the campus. And it was amazing. It was such a freaking great show. I'm so glad I went and saw them again. My ears are still hurting from it, but loudest show you'll ever see in your entire life, I guarantee, My Bloody Valentine. But it was awesome. Anyway, so I think that's it for My Bloody Valentine right now. I could go on and on about them, but they get talked about so much on these channels. So another band that was putting out shoegaze music in the early 90s was a band called Curve. And I love this band. I'm only going to show one right now. This is their EP Frozen. It came out in 92, 4-song EP. This EP is perfect. Every single song, 5 stars. I love this EP. If you're going to start anywhere with Curve, and you can get a hold of this EP, I love it. It's awesome. It's essential Curve. Just not a bad song there. This is what the label looks like. And I'm not going to show all of their stuff that I have because I want to make a separate video that's just Curve and Curve related bands. And I've got enough of it to where I could do a whole video. So we'll move along, but Curve is definitely right in there. Their wall of guitar sounds, noise guitars, kind of like My Bloody Valentine, female vocals, Tony Halliday, and Dean Garcia is the music genius. But they add a lot of industrial sounds to it, a lot of keyboards and sequencers, effects. They do a lot of extra stuff that My Bloody Valentine just sticks to guitars, bass, and drums, and just messes with the guitar sounds. But Curve adds all kinds of industrial kind of noise and effects and beats and all kinds of crazy stuff added to it to just add so much extra texture to their songs. It's really great stuff. Highly recommend Curve if you're into that shoegaze type music, or either you're already into it and haven't really listened to Curve, or else you're just starting out. My Bloody Valentine and Curve are two of the very best. The next band I want to talk about is an American band out of LA, Medicine. So I'll just go through what I have here. I remember buying this again when I was in college, 1992. I bought it on CD, so I had the CD way back then. I wasn't buying vinyl back then. This is the record. This was recently re-released by Captured Tracks, it's called. Captured Tracks, yeah, is the name of the record company that's re-releasing their music. And the inside of the gatefold, this is one of their EPs. This is another one of their EPs, Aruka, and then 5. There's the back there. This is cool. It's a double record set. It's got all the extras from those EPs that I showed on the inside. It's got those extras on the second disc. Let's see. So the story behind this, these were really hard to find. You can't find these records just sitting out on the shelf. The only way that I could find it was I was able to track down a box set that they released by Capture Tracks. I released a box set, and it's their first 2 albums, one of their first EPs, and then a live cassette and some other little thingamajiggers, all in this box set. And on Discogs, it was in a couple $100 or so, and I'm not going to pay that, even though it's a really cool thing to have. So I went and tracked down all these different places and finally found a record store in Minnesota that had it at retail value, which is like $80. And they wouldn't ship it to me. They're like, you can come in and get it, but we don't ship. So I'm like, I'm not flying to Minnesota to go buy a box set. I'm just going to have to sit this one out. Finally, I just kept it was on my want list in Discogs, and finally somebody was selling a box set, used, opened, but at a reasonable price. So I went and grabbed it. So that's how I have this in my hand. It's very strange, this box set. Weird kind of things about it, like they don't have inner sleeves. They just had like generic inner sleeves, but they included this little book, and it's basically a CD booklet, but it's a CD booklet for this album, but it's not the same CD booklet that came with the original CD, because that looks like this, and it just has, just some pictures and words and all that kind of stuff, some photographs. It's just this little simple three paged kind of deal. But this one that came with the records in this box set comes with these booklets, and it just goes on and on about the band and tons of really cool pictures, live pictures, lyrics and all that. So it comes with all the stuff, but it's just weird that it's in a CD sized booklet, but I'm sure they had their reasoning for that. So Shot for Self Living, their first album. Love this album. Some of the great songs on it, Miss Drugstore, Aruka, One More, Sweet Explosion. There's just some really great. The thing about Medicine, what I like Medicine, they're not like My Bloody Valentine. They're not like, everything's not smooth and beautiful and kind of, I don't know, just it's not smooth out. This is really like just fuzzy, scratchy, kind of just staticky guitar noise. It's just the loudest of loud guitar shoegaze type music that you'll ever hear. I guess kind of in the vein of Jesus and Mary Chain, I guess, but just taking it to the 11, just full on, just some of the loudest. I would say that just really just about the loudest you're going to hear from a shoegaze band. Really incredible stuff. If you like that, I like things. I like to hear like layers and hear weird sounds that you don't hear the first time, you hear the second time. And I just like lots of layers in this kind of music, and Medicine definitely delivers on that. So this is their first album, again, 1992, Shot for Self-Living. Originally it was released on Deaf American and Creation. There's Creation again. So the records themselves, the vinyl in the box set, there's the labels there, and it's on this translucent blue vinyl, which is really nice. Kind of goes with the blue on the album cover. They're both the same, so they're both blue vinyl.